Hello. Welcome to the reading for this week. I forgot the date. I know it's Memorial Day. I know it's Memorial Day. I don't remember what today is. I could do the math, but why? My name is Leah Spinrad, and I am here to do our reading of care for the collective. That could be your community. That could be how we're interacting with the politics, the global news, the country. It could be how you are actually doing something actively outside of your family circle. All of that goes in the first card. Second card is for our health, our household health. So your family, if you have, care that you do, that's like a very tight circle. It can relate to your finances. It can relate to decluttering in your home, maintenance, it can relate to all of those things. And then, or like kid stuff with your kids. And then the last one's yourself. So the reason that we do these weekly is to give us a like check-in on how the energy of the week is moving through our lives and how to best use it. Because sometimes the energy can be really blah, like really negative, but then there's a way to use it. Maybe it's get deep into your grief and process that, some of that. Maybe the energy is really frenetic and it's easy to get swept away. And so the way to handle that is to take one step at a time, whatever it is. So we're going to put down those cards and then I will read them. And this is an intuitive card reading. What that means is I'm using the cards as a jumping off point to get more information. So some of that information will come through my guides. It might just be an inner knowing. And sometimes I'll see something in the card I've never seen before, part of the picture. And that's what makes it a little bit more intuitive specifically. So, here we go. By the way, this is the picture book of Anna Cortez. She's still making cards. I don't know that these are available at this time. They're very old. Okay, for our community, we have a very nice card, the South Wind. Seems like a pleasant time. So a little rest, maybe a little respite for the week. Be nice. And then for our families and our homes, I've got the Friends. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck, actually. So it's just so far, kind of nice. Let's see. And then for self-care, it is not that one. Okay. That one. Okay. Oh, yeah. Sword of Truth. Pretty good. Pretty nice reading. This definitely relates to last week's reading. See that for sure. So last week, if you did see that, I'll just sum it up for you. We got a card in a community card that was the Throne of Spiders, and then Tendra in the position of our family. Tendra is the queen, the Lady of Diamonds, and then in the self card we got the it's not the tower in the tarot, it's the tower in this deck, and it is the Six of Diamonds. So in that reading, what I got was that we're sitting up high in a way that we have a vantage point of everything around us. It can be a little bit isolating, but we're safe. And because we're safe and we're sitting removed from situations, we can actually see them very clearly. And the advice in the Tendra card was to not act rashly, but also to take whatever fire energy that we had and actually get something done. And then for the community, it was that seeing led right back into that Throne of Spiders, where you could really see where things were and maybe things that were working against you or the center of somebody at a local scandal of some type. This is a very different reading, but the way it's relating is that I see that in our self here, we're having the sword of truth. So going from that tower of seeing it, now we're bringing it down and we're wielding it forth. There is a real strength in this card of bearing the truth for other people to see. It's a very public type of card versus like just knowing the truth. So going back out to our community, we got South Wind. South Wind is the summer wind. It makes sense for Memorial Day weekend, where It's the official start of summer, the unofficial start of summer. We've got this nice warm wind, the kind of wind that blows extra heat away. So in saying that, I'm thinking there's been a lot of tension. There's been a lot of boiling point situations going on in our country and around the world, and maybe in your own community. And this is a little bit of a breeze to bring in something fresh, to bring in something a little bit less intense. And for our families in our homes, we're seeking space. We're seeking solitude and contemplation. This is the friends, but there's only one person. And I've always loved this card, but I don't know about you, most of my best friends don't live near me. So I'm often thinking about my friends and like, I love my friends, and he's just looking out. And because of the way that this card has always felt to me, it's like he's not lonely. He's not alone necessarily, but he is contained kind of in his self. And he's looking out over this kind of landscape that, depending on how you look at it, could be a winter landscape. And there's like a sunset, and then the night is coming in. So it's a little bit about the duality of having friends and then needing space. And this coming up in this part of this reading is I'm seeing clearing space, physical space, right? Like really just taking if you're home and you've got like a little extra time because it's the long weekend, like taking the things out that you already have decided that need to go. And I'm thinking of myself right now because I know my husband and I were talking about going to do a dump run. The dump is closed, but we can stage it so that we can get the stuff into the van and take it away when the dump reopens. But at least like all of that yard space will be clear. All of the like sticks and things that need to go out will be out. I live in the city, so you just like throw your sticks in the dump. I'm not used to that because I'm from the country. And then with this south wind going into the sword of truth, or from within to without, the truth coming out to the wind, there's this place here in between these two diamonds of like air and space. So letting your home and letting the time you have with your family be the space between what's going on outside of the world and what your inner knowing and that fire building up inside of you. Allow yourself to take the break. It almost looks like, when you have to go from like work straight to home, like take a little time in the middle, or work to home. I don't know. Take a little time in the middle. This is about a pause. This is for sure a pause in our homes. If you're thinking about the Memorial Day weekend, like it could be a pause of just having a nice day where you're not expecting yourself to do anything. It could be some clearing physically of the stuff in your home. It could be a reset where you're like looking at your summer plans and you're like, like hard reset before we do anything, before we make any more plans. Let's make sure we are in alignment as a family with space. What space do we want as a family? What do we want to create? And then this south wind will help usher those changes through into the community, like as a continuity thing. And knowing the truth, it can be very uncomfortable. And it can be very uncomfortable to need to share the truth with the people around you. And so allowing that space to be like a little bit of a buffer for you, for yourself to get that courage and recover maybe after you share the truth, because that can be hard to do. Maybe you just know it. Maybe it's just conviction, but maybe you do have to speak on behalf of someone else, or you need to get into a difficult conversation with someone because you know something that's like important to bring forth. So all of that to say, it's kind of breezy and nice over here. And this is not it's not a hard card. It's not an easy card. It's just like, it's a strong card. So a lovely reading, especially compared to, noticing that there's somebody in your circle that might be like talking bad about you. But I do think that some of that seeing that we had last week with the throne of spiders in the tower is now we know the truth. So now we know the truth. And where are we going with that? How are we directing that breeze? How are we directing that energy now that we know what the truth is? That's your reading. I will see you next week. I am very much looking forward to announcing my family retreat this coming week. So please, I will come on here and talk about it. But if you're not on my newsletter or my Instagram or my threads or my Substack, that's going to be probably the first place I put it. And there's only 7 or 8 places for families. So it is in Maine. It's in late October, and we will be doing 2 full days. It's a 3-night retreat, 2 full days of separate activities for adults and kids. It's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so good, and I'm thrilled. So pumped. So I will be online with that really soon. Have a great weekend.